The history of boxing boasts thousands of beautiful knockouts and crushing punches over the past century.
Oh, Logic! Oh, he's out. He was done before he hit the cage. Good luck.
Today, I've compiled a list of the most shocking blows in boxing for you.
Beautiful shots back at Tony.
Oh! Big left hook! It's elbow Tony!
Roy Jones is a beloved figure in boxing, known for his spectacular knockouts throughout his career. Watching his fights, the iconic music from The Matrix is immediately playing in your head, as he seems to defy the laws of physics in the ring. The second battle against Montel Griffin was no exception. The fight began with a bang, as Roy sent his opponent flying 5 meters across the ring before it even began. Montel was already terrified and trying to escape, but Roy caught up to him in his unique and crazy style.
Good luck, Ted!
Floyd Mayweather has faced criticism for many years due to his weak punches and perceived reluctance to fight. But yes, Money Floyd is adept at manipulating rules, time, and weight to gain an advantage for himself. On the other hand, the younger Floyd, or Pretty Boy Floyd, was lightning fast and had no qualms about finishing off his opponents. One notable example occurred in 2007 when he faced off against the undefeated Ricky Hatton. Although the outcome of the fight was already clear by the 10th round, the young Floyd wanted more. With a quick pivot and a left hook, he sent Hatton's head flying into the corner of the ring before he fell to the canvas. This was like a pro wrestling scene in a boxing match, and it solidified Mayweather's position as the best boxer in the sport. The heavyweight division has been home to some of the most spectacular knockouts in sports history. One such memorable fight was between Klitschko and Joshua for the vacant titles previously held by Tyson Fury. The match played out in a swing scenario, with both fighters experiencing knockdowns. As the 11th round began, it was clear that the fight would be ended by the character of the fighters rather than their technique. Anthony Joshua knew he needed to take action to win the titles, and he did that with an incredibly powerful uppercut.
Doing it if you feel it. Oh, good shot there from Anthony Joshua, and Vladimir Klitschko took it.
The impact of this blow was so intense that it looked as though Vladimir's head had flown into the arena. Photos of the knockout quickly spread across the internet, and in slow motion, it was even more devastating. After the uppercut, Joshua was able to finish off his opponent and become the world champion. Some boxers possess such immense strength and speed that their bones cannot withstand the force and often break. This was the case with the Prince Naseem Hamed, perhaps the most entertaining boxer in sports history. He fought with a unique style, incorporating dance moves that had helped him knock out top boxers and Olympic champions. What's even more impressive is that he did this as a featherweight, a weight class where knockouts are a rarity. The Prince fought Johnson for the IBM title, and their match drew 725,000 pay-per-view viewers, which was a record at the time that only Tyson versus Lewis was able to surpass in 2002. Hamed won in a bright and spectacular manner, but it was his uppercut that stole the show.
No, he will not.
He executed it so brilliantly that he almost scooped it up from the canvas, sending Johnson crashing down like a log. This performance raised the prestige of featherweight and proved that this weight was just as entertaining as the heavyweight. If you're interested in watching a video about this extraordinary boxer, feel free to leave a comment. We will now discuss the punch that frightened everyone when Joe Frazier knocked down Muhammad Ali. It seemed impossible to stop Ali, as he was strong, fast, hardy, and had a steely character. However, someone created George Foreman, who possessed all the physical attributes of Frazier, but multiplied by 2. This resulted in a title fight between two undefeated boxers. But that evening, the scenario was completely different. It was not a fight between people, but rather a man versus The Rock. From the very first blows, the difference in striking power was evident, but a short uppercut in the first round changed everything.
You may hear him. Down goes Frazier! Down goes Frazier!
It seemed like a casual action, but Frazier flew away from it naturally and fell on the canvas. Everyone in the arena already understood the outcome of the fight, except for Joe.
His job! Foreman is all over Joe Frazier! Frazier is down again!
He tried to resist, but for 2 rounds, he was knocked down 6 times, and the fight was stopped. When it comes to Mexican boxers, the first thing we think of is a granite jaw and incredible willpower. But what happens if we add technique to it? It results in Saul Canelo Alvarez. His menu offers punches for every taste, but we'll remember the strike that turned off the lights for Amir Khan. The classic matchup is strength versus speed, but this time, all indicators were turned up to the maximum. Khan was probably the fastest boxer of the last 20 years, and his punches were so fast that they were not always visible. However, the downside of this fighting style is the jaw. Although the opponents couldn't see where his punches were flying from, but he himself did not always notice the blows flying at him. For 6 rounds, Alvarez tried to catch his opponent, but he could only do it at the end of the fight by inflicting an incredibly powerful overhand.
Oh, it certainly is now. Huge right hand. And Khan.
He turned off Amir's system, and he went to sleep. The knockout was so powerful that Khan's body and head were shaking. This caused alarm even for Canelo, who came over to see what he had done. Let's delve back into the era of the 4 Kings and recall the epic battle between Roberto Duran and Thomas Hitman Hearns. At the time of the fight, the careers of these 2 boxers were polar opposites. Duran was still a top boxer, but was on the decline, while Tommy was rapidly moving towards a title fight against Hagler. Despite the difference in career, size, and styles, both boxers always pursued the finish. The fight was extremely intense, but in the second round, something happened that no one could have expected. After a powerful combination, Hearns took a step back and delivered the most powerful right straight, instantly turning off the lights of the Panamanian beast. For the first time in his career, Roberto Duran lost by knockout, and the Hitman added Mike Tyson's idol to his order list.
He should be hanging on. Now with the right hand, the left hand. He's got to hang on, or he'll stop the fight. Down he goes.
No list of knockouts or powerful punches is complete without Mike Tyson. In fact, Tyson is present in almost all such lists, and I wouldn't want to break that tradition. I invite you to remember the punch that silenced all of the Iron Mike haters, who wrote off all of his knockouts as coming against weak opponents. However, Tyson knocked out Trevor Berbick in the same easy manner, becoming the youngest heavyweight champion. What's shocking about the punch is where it landed. A casual uppercut, followed by a hook to the forehead, enough to knock out the former champion. It's time to recall how the greatest quadrilogy in boxing history ended. At the time, the score between Juan Emmanuel Marquez and Pac-Man was 1-2 in favor of the Filipino. You might even wonder why they even had a 4th fight. The truth is, after Pacquiao's legendary win streak, he became a regular at strip clubs and his discipline gradually disappeared. This lack of discipline was noticeable in his loss to Tim Bradley, even though many believed he won that fight. So, a fight was organized against an opponent he had already beaten. As usual, the fight between these 2 fighters was extremely intense. By round 6, we saw many big exchanges, but Manny was more agile on his feet. At the end of the round, he decided to jump on Marquez with a combination, but instead missed the right punch.
Pacquiao with the right hand. Oh!
The punch was so strong that Pacquiao just fell to the canvas. The gong ringing signaling the end of the round now meant the end of the fight. Marquez and the front row spectators were shocked and frightened by how Manny fell. While Juan ran to celebrate the victory, Pac-Man was still lying in the same position. However, there have been many such punches in the history of boxing, so if you want to see more, please support the video with a like.